You remember how Ruben Amorim said at the weekend that his team are the worst Manchester United side in
Yeah,
history? We said it was a weird thing to say, and maybe he didn't really want to say that, and he regrets saying it.
yeah, because he spoke before United playing the Europa League on Thursday night, so it was on Wednesday, and obviously he was asked again about what created a lot of controversy. To be fair, and he said, "I'm a young guy, and sometimes I make mistakes. That's why I don't talk after the game. This game I needed to talk, and maybe it was a mistake." He said he got nervous, etc.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
for me, this is even worse, Gab.
Oh, you don't
This
think you
is
should have
even
admitted it?
worse. Well, I don't need these apologies to start with. Why are you saying sorry? Why say you made a
He's a
mistake?
believer in what they call
You're
radical
nervous.
candor.
Come
Where-
on.
No?
I think the way it was done, there was a stat that was going to come up and a question probably in his press conference saying this was the first time since the 1890s where United had such a bad run of results at home or something like
Right.
that. And he thought he could be smart, and instead of being asked by one of the journalists and maybe be roasted about that, he said, "Yeah, and I tell you what, I know this is the worst." And I think he didn't say it properly. He didn't say what he wanted to say exactly. So I think this is making it worse.
It does show you that when you coach one of these big clubs, like every word you say gets parsed.
Yeah.
And so just don't go there. And by the way, for younger fans who might have jumped on the United bandwagon in the 1990s or 2000s, and you know who you are, United at one point nearly got relegated to the third
Yeah,
tier.
they were that
okay?
bad even in the
They
second
were that
division.
bad, right? That was in that was in the 30s, and then they did get relegated to the second division in the 70s. So just a bit of context
Yeah.
there.
Napoli have made an improved bid, staying with United for Alejandro Garnacho, but Chelsea are now also in the mix reportedly.
Yeah, I don't buy this Chelsea in the mix. I think they would like to have Garnacho because he's on a small contract and he's direct and attacking and blah, blah, blah. But I think they know that this is not the kind of player that certainly the United of old. I don't know if it's going to be too much different. You're not going to sell Garnacho to what they perceive to be a direct rival. Then he comes back to haunt them because the narratives, I think, do matter in this country. So it's why we very, very rarely see situations like this. The bid is apparently 50 million euros.
Plus bonuses, and United won 55 plus bonuses.
My understanding is that 50 million includes bonuses.
Right.
And I also think that these Chelsea stories are coming from, I think they're being fed by United. Just
Okay.
put it that way.
Yeah.
Which doesn't mean that, if Joao Felix gets carted off to the moon or something and suddenly you have a Joao Felix sized wiggle room in your wage structure, might not mean Chelsea wouldn't want to have a go at Garnacho. But yeah, no. I think
No, I agree
Napoli, by the way, Napoli's alternative to Garnacho, I think says a lot, is Karim Adeyemi, who they're suddenly presenting as some superstar. But I'm like, how long since this guy's had a good game?
I know, yeah. They like Zagrova as well from Lille, but again, he's a bit inconsistent.
Meanwhile, Jules, Marcus Rashford back in training.
Hey! United's worst nightmare, not being able to shift Marcus Rashford, who there were rumors that, and we know where they're coming from as well, that Barca were ready to go and have the loan, and we've explained already that it would not make any sense for Barcelona in the situation that they are in right now financially to go for Marcus Rashford. A position where they don't need him because they've got Rafinha, probably the best right winger right now in Europe, the most informed certainly. So he's there back training. There's 10 days to go now between the end of the transfer window, which is February the 3rd for most of the countries. I don't know. The Milan, obviously it won't be Milan because Kyle Walker is going there. He was offered to Marseille. I was like, really? I don't know, man.
Just from the heart here, Marcus. Look around you. Most United fans, not just Mark Ogden, who's negative about everything, will come out and they'll tell you, yeah, United aren't scoring goals, blah, blah, blah. It's a shambles, yeah? Because you have Højlund's now like public enemy number one amongst many United fans who seem to forget they're still very young. Xerxes looks funny and clumsy when he moves. And, hey, you don't see yourself as a center forward? Why don't you go and give Amorim something to think about? Double down on that. You know what? The number 10 position is also there. Yes, it's going to be Diallo and Bruno, right? But, I mean, we've seen Anthony play there. We've seen Garnacho play there. How about you back yourself and show yourself, hey, why don't I learn that number 10 position in that system. This will make other teams take notice and say like, oh, that Marcus Rashford, he really can play different positions. Sitting out, going on the European, sending your family members, your advisors on a European roadshow while telling everybody, especially at clubs that that anybody who has a phone and can Google, won't take you and can't take you, is just a dumb thing to do. Just play your way back into contention.